Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, day da day da day day bim bam. Bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Good Shabbos.
Shabbos Cantor, good Shabbos Rabbi, good Shabbos to all who are joining us tonight. It's nice that we can be a community, that we come together as we always do. So on the chat, on YouTube or on Facebook, let us know you're here. Give a shout out to someone else, introduce yourself, tell us where you're joining us from, especially those who have made our community complete, coming from both coasts or actually over oceans and joining us and making these times even more special. Of course, if you want to follow along in a prayer book, you can get that through the resource section of our of the YouTube channel that we're on and through our website as well. But it's a Kaya service, a meditation service, a service filled with some reflection, some teaching, some time together, time just being a community. And we called tonight, Rabbi Cantor and me, we said tonight's our Resiliency Shabbat, because it was literally, this Shabbat last year, that was our last time on the Bima at Temple with the congregation all in person. And then everything changed. And so we wanted to sort of reflect upon that and put that perspective into our minds, our hearts, our souls as we pray tonight. In a sense, I feel as if my mind is spinning. Hard to fathom what we are experiencing right now, the unknown that worries us and the concerns that overwhelm us. Those last two sentences, I wrote those words a year ago when we first began a service like this. But I could have written them for tonight. And somehow, some way, we've come together continually this year and supported one another. It's been far from easy. And there have been times we've been overwhelmed. Times when we weren't sure what the next day would bring. We, your rabbis and cantor, your clergy have been overwhelmed, unsure of what best to do, worried we're not present to help, to give hugs, working tirelessly to be connected to you, to stay connected. And with this, we have to let you know, our community, how much your support of us and your encouragement and your staying connected means to us. You've lifted us up and offered us support right back. You reminded us of the importance truly of community, of how what we are all doing is intertwined, of how we are in this, yes, together. You've given us inspiration. And we want you to know tonight that this means the world to us. We've also realized how much it is that we have a blessing in our tradition, in thousands of years, literally, of learning, of text that continues to bring meaning to our lives, no matter how unique a year of pandemic might be for all of us. And one text I've read more times this year than any other in my life comes from our scripture, from Ecclesiastes. I wanted to share it with you tonight. The Kol's Ma'avil Chefetz Tachat Hashemayim. For everything there's a season, time for every experience under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. Time to plant, a time to uproot that which is planted. Time to tear down, time to build up. Time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to grieve, and a time to dance. A time to throw stones, a time to gather stones. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to discard. A time to tear, and a time to sow. Time to keep silence, and a time to speak. How did the author of this biblical expression thousands of years past know our reality today so keenly? What we all are experiencing right now is just that. These opposites, these differences, these challenges, these similarities, these times in our lives. And the one that we keep reflecting on, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. Our faith, our Judaism has always been about wrapping our arms around each other. We do it with unbridled joy, dancing a hora together, celebrating at a wedding. We do it at the most difficult moments, holding one another in the midst of loss. And we need them both. An exclamation of our joyous excitement, as well as support which helps us through darkness of sadness. Today, neither of these are possible in a sense. How heart-wrenching reality has been while standing together as mourners, saying together, even in joy. Maybe it's wisdom embedded within generations of tradition, or maybe it's the idea that even when we physically cannot do something for which we yearn, we still can connect. We still can support one another. That's where our prayers come in. How much the more so is this possible? Is this necessary tonight? And yes, it seems for many of us how much these Friday night services have been, how much they've meant to us all. So let's continue that tradition. Let's honor that tradition tonight, reflecting, praying, singing, appreciating, meditating. And so we begin our services together, this moment of resiliency that we recognize now.
I come with joy, I come with hope, I come with vision and with intention. I come with prayer, I come with love, with searching and sacred questions. Hineni, here I am. I come with peace of mind. I know just where I stand. Here I am. I come with trust. I come with pride. I come with justice and with freedom. I come with history. I come with family, with knowledge and with wisdom. Hineni, here I am. I come with peace of mind. I know just where I stand. Here I am. Here I am.
Say those words, Hineni. Hineni, here I am. Because you're here in this moment. You're here right now. You are present. Despite the challenges in our world, in our lives, the separation that we feel, the people we have not been able to physically be with, even the loss we've experienced this year, we can still say, Hineni, here I am. It's what we find in Torah Abraham, the first of our people, the first Jew, when God calls to him, he says, Hineni. Repeatedly, we hear those words. Moses responds to God, Hineni. Here I am. So tonight, as we pray, think of that. Think of how present you are in this moment, that you have your breath, and that's a blessing. That you have community, that even when we're not physically together, we are connected. And for that, we have blessing. We have tradition that's helped guide us, that's helped us reflect, that's helped us in the most difficult of moments. Hineni, here I am. And so with that in mind, we begin our prayers of the Shabbat with our call to worship the Baruch Hu.
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושימנתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לבבות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
During the high holidays one year, Rabbi Moskowitz taught a teaching from Rabbi Ed Feinstein, comparing our Siddur, our prayer book, to a museum. Rabbi Feinstein said that as you walk in and you see art, sometimes you like what you see, and sometimes you don't. The same is true for our prayer. Some prayers speak to you, and others, well, we hope they speak to others. But just like art, which can be understood by two different onlookers in such different ways, so too it is with prayer. As we read them, as we say, or as we hear these words, we sometimes hear what we need to hear. As we commemorate this Resiliency Shabbat, and I read the words of our next prayer, the Hashkivenu, there were words that jumped out and spoke to me in ways that I haven't seen before, in ways that I haven't thought about. This week, the prayer reminded me of the anxieties, the fears that many of us have experienced in this past year, that some have faced for much longer than a year. Questions arose. Will we wake up tomorrow? Will we be healthy? Or might we be sick? Will there be violence? Or will tomorrow bring peace? What will our pantries look like? Will we know that there's income to support us and to put food on our tables? What about the roofs of our heads? And how often do we give ourselves moments to pause and to think about these challenges? Challenges that weigh heavily upon us. Challenges that cause us anxiety. For a moment, I want to do just that. I want you to close your eyes, to look within, to focus on your breathing. Breathing in, slowly inhaling through your nose, and breathing out, exhaling through your mouth. Continue to focus on your breathing, on your breath. Breathe in that gift from God, and breathe out, sharing your gift with the world. As you continue to focus on your breathing, take a moment to think about the challenges you face, the anxiety that you have, those things that cause you stress. What is it for you that keeps you up at night? What is it for you that is the unknown? What is it that you wish you could predict for the future so that you would know how things would turn out? Name those challenges to yourself or say them out loud. As you continue to focus on your breathing and think about those things, those challenges, those stresses, Picture yourself blowing those challenges away with every breath out. Removing that fear from within with every breath. The words of the Hashkivenu, the prayer that we sing in a moment with Cantor, it's our petition asking God to help us do just that. To remove sometimes those irrational fears, sometimes the rational ones too. But to move us to a time when that fear, that anxiety doesn't paralyze us, doesn't stop us, but allows us to tomorrow morning, as this prayer says, to life renewed, refreshed, ready to fulfill our mission. And so we join with Cantor praying those words to God.
Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Leshalom. Hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Leshalom. The Hamidenu Shomreinu
In preparation for the Amidah, for the central prayers of our worship, we take a moment of private meditation, having our own moment for conversation with ourselves and with God. As we take a moment for silent prayer now, please pray silently.
Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri Veko Ali. We welcome you with open arms, with joy and hope, with prayer and love. We welcome you with trust and pride, with history and with יפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
And our own private prayers as individuals, do we as a community take a moment to think of those friends and family who are in need of healing, of a refuah, need that refuah shlema, that complete healing of mind, of body, and of spirit. As we say, Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, ve'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel, hu yivarech et acholim. Merciful God, who blessed our ancestors, send your blessings to our loved ones who are stricken with illness or anxiety. To Larry Burke, Grace Geraldine Carafelli, Bonseal Campbell, Karen Kasman, Margaret Kosha, Lindsay Cooper, Molly Coton, Gary Fishman, Barb Flair, Sandy Flair, Karen Garassi, Kathy Gilman, Joseph Goldring, Lola Goldring, Sandy Gorish, Batia Batbeshia Panina, Susan Greenberg, Charles Gross, Sherry Gutter, Susan Gorelnik, Hank Heiser, Helen Indiana, Jane Jacobs, Bruce Kay, Dr. Ephraim Kessler, Paulette Coffrin, Serafina Coffrin, Marta Lazar, Henry Leopold, Michael Malley, Zoe Marcus, Beth Margolin, Joyce Meza, Perry Moss, Lori Moss, Scott Miles, Kate Negron, Rabbi Robert Nosenchuk, Razel Bath Leah Miriam, Marjorie Pensine, Melanie Pohl, James Raftery, Arthur Reish, Joanne Reed, Jody Richmond, Alan Rosen, Mona Rosenbaum, the Saint Amand family, Amy Selmanoff, Danny Shepard, Arnold Slutsky, Barbara Storm, Helene Wolf, all those battling the coronavirus, both at home and in the hospital, and the 53,117 American troops who have been injured in Iraq and Afghanistan to date, as well as all the names in our hearts. May God grant them a refuah shlema, a complete healing of mind, of body, and of spirit.
The songs of strength who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
In addition to our prayers for healing, we had these words written by Rabbi Ayelet Cohen that we adapted, asking that God's partners in healing and those whose work allows our needs for survival to be met, that they all be blessed. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. Bless all those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick, physicians and nurses and orderlies, technicians and home health aides, EMTs and pharmacists, hospital social workers, respiratory therapists, and mental health professionals. And bless those who continue to go above and beyond, those working daily in our grocery stores and those who drive medical supplies to our homes, those delivering vaccines or necessities to our families, cooking meals for so many, everyone who puts the needs of others above their own, navigating the unfolding dangers of the world each day, tending to those they have sworn to help. Bless them in their coming home and bless them in their going out. Ease their fear, sustain them. Source of all breath, healer of all beings, protect them and restore their hope. Strengthen them that they may bring strength. Keep them in health that they may bring health. Help them know again a time when they can breathe without fear. Bless the sacred work of their hands. And may this plague pass from among us speedily and in our days. As together we say, Amen. We continue with the words of Elenu with our concluding prayers. It's upon us.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, ביום
520,563 and counting. Lives lost in this pandemic cannot be adequately honored in one ritual. Yet here's a reality that we know too well. All around us is loss. Lost lives, lost time, lost opportunities. Our challenge is to resist the inclination towards denialism. The danger here is that we play act that we're okay when we're not. Willful amnesia is not a reflection of resilience. It's a sign of weakness. We need to create space for public mourning, a moral imperative after catastrophic loss. But here's one thing I've come to realize. Grief is one of the most powerful expressions of love. It's an act of rebellion against the world as it is, a refusal to let people disappear. I pray every day we remain open and loving, even in the midst of so much sorrow. I pray our tears flow today so tomorrow we can find strength, compassion, moral clarity we need to begin to heal. So tonight we create a new ritual. We're going to light a Yortzeit candle and recite the mourner's Kaddish in memory of those more than 500,000 lives lost to COVID and other loved ones who passed away during this last year who were not able to be fully mourned, to acknowledge the many losses we have endured. A Yortzeit candle is just a clock, tell time of a day of 24 hours. But it's become much more than that for us. It's a reminder of the light of life that touched our lives, that continues to inspire and bring light to our world. And so we think of those who have passed in these last 30 days, yes, who Shloshim, we mark friends, family of our congregation. Ayin Cascade, Edja Zakalik, Gloria Siegel Stolier, Ilo Seidman, Daryl Bresick, Nisi Conroy, John Goldstein, Sam Tolchin, Cy Goodman, Asia Bat Arkady, Zoila Zapaya, Gabriel Pinchasov, Edie Boo Klein, Eleanor Zupke, and Fanny Zuckerman, as well as the 7,038 Americans in our armed forces who've been killed in Iraq, Afghanistan, the surrounding areas to date, the 520,565 Americans who have lost their lives to coronavirus, as well as linking ourselves with those who have died in this season in years past, whose Yortzeits we mark on this Shabbat. Friends and family of our congregation, Ronald Altman, Phil Bradley, Milton Berg, Sandy Ellenstein, Isidore Ellis, Alan Fisher, Norman Gurman, Laura Gould, J. Samuel Grant, Benjamin Hoffman, Max Hoffman, Leon Hunt, Ann Kikowski, Cecile Kerner, Miriam Konnikov, Lawrence Coltino, Florence Crewman, Isabella Lazar, Minette Levine, Seymour Lewis, Nate Light, Barbara Mandel, Jessica Mazius, Rose Meiji, Roland Morale, Melvin Mintz, Molly Perchikoff, Paul Henry Pierce, Sarah Shapiro, George Silverman, Sam Zaks, Geraldine Ziff, Jackie Zimmerman. Linking their names, all names that we did not recite on the Shabbat. Those of every faith, every family whose lives have touched ours, as well as those of no one to stand and say Kaddish for them. So do we join together in the immortal words of the mourner's Kaddish at this time. Yikadal, v'yikadash shemei rabbah, v'yamad divrach hirte v'yamich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Bagala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach olam amei amaya, yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit ramam v'yit naseh, v'yit adar v'yit nalet v'yit nalal, shemed kudashah b'rechu. V'amin kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, ta'meram v'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlomo rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. The source of peace and peace to those who mourn. Comforts those who are bereaved here and everywhere. And let us say together, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'ramav, huya aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav, huya aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Good to be together and to have this time together. We have a special song to sing together at the end, but you can ask some questions of Tish as always. Put them up on the YouTube chat. It's the best way for us to see them. In addition, though, a few things to share, a few announcements of things that are around, that are coming up on the horizon. And we always appreciate your feedback, things you want to learn, things you are interested in. And that's how we've created a lot of our classes in this past year. So we finished up another round of visits to Israel, another opportunity to go with 5 visits and really remarkable classes and great attendance with that. This Tuesday evening is another hot topics class, and Rabbi Daniel will be teaching about, can innovation go too far? Specifically in regards to Pesach, but really how we look at change and evolution in Jewish tradition, and is there a limit to what we're able to do and what we're able to create and what we're able to change. Thank God we're not sacrificing animals anymore. So I would say that tradition is a good thing that we stopped doing, but I'm not sure what Rabbi will be teaching about that. So we started with that. That's Hot Topics on Tuesday. Monday morning on Monday Morning Musings, our friend Rabbi Joey Krakoff will be my guest and fellow teacher with me, talking about hospice as the executive director of Jewish Hospice and the mitzvah and the incredible work that he's able to do and help our community with as well. On Wednesday, right, is trivia night. Trivia, right? Another great thing that's come out of this time together of this pandemic. Lots of fun with trivia. We have, some teams have signed up, but some of the repeats, past winners haven't signed up yet. So I guess they're afraid that we're going to beat them this week, and that's why they haven't signed up, Rabbi. Must be, right? Yeah.
And for those that are wondering, it's general trivia. It's not Jewish trivia as we're going through. And so we posted a couple questions that we've had in the past, and I'll give a clue for anybody that's watching tonight. That one of our rounds, there's usually 6 rounds of questions, and one of those rounds will be on airlines. So if you know your airlines, this could be the week for you to join. But there's other questions beyond airlines if you don't know that.
TWA, St. Louis was the hub. So, I just want to give a shout out to technology and what we're able to create together, because Rabbi Daniel's on his phone using that as a hotspot because they have no internet in his home at the last minute tonight. So rather than run the temple because he wouldn't have time for him to do that, he jumped on this way. These are the challenges that have been a part of this year and us figuring things out that we've never, ever done before. Of course, a year ago, March 6, 2020, if anyone said Zoom, we'd say, You make that head tilt like your dog just heard a high-pitched squeal, like, which I often find myself doing. That's a different reason. So, any Tish questions that have come this way yet? And Rabbi, I just went off the top of my head some of the announcements I wanted to share as well.
I'll share one other thing, and that is that we have a cooking series that we're actually going to be starting. So there's 3 different, and you don't have to sign up for all of them, but there's going to be 3 different cooking demos that people can be a part of. And so the first one is actually on Monday, March 15th. And that's going to be co-chaired by 2 members, by Sarah Kalish and Tiffany Fleischer, who are working with Chef Hobby and Paul Wirtz of Platinum Dish Catering, our caterer, to do a demo on Passover dishes. So it's called Beyond the Basics, Spicing Up or Making Delicious Meals for Passover. It doesn't have to be for Seder, but just different things that you might want to try. And so they'll have 4 different dishes that you can make, and you'll get the recipe, the shopping list for it in advance, so you could cook along with them if you wanted to do that, or you could just watch. But it's also an opportunity, as we look at it, to build a little bit of community. And so there'll be opportunities to meet some other members who are going to be on with that. There's no charge for that program. However, we're asking that there's a suggested donation. And our co-chairs came up with the idea of that money raised would go to Yad Ezra, to their to their Passover appeal. And as we talked to Yad Ezra, who is thrilled to be the recipient of those donations, they said it's the most expensive time of the year for them in their food pantry and distributing food to those who need it in general. But there are always people who come for Passover, that the numbers increase around this time as well for the need. So it should be a wonderful evening. The second one is actually the following Sunday on the 21st. Julia Ohana, who is a culinary arts therapist, is going to be leading another demo related to Passover and some foods for Passover, but talking about creating conversations around your table as well. And so that could be something for Passover and Seder, but at another time too. And the third one is on April 6th, I believe is the date. It's a Tuesday at noon. And we're going to be inviting Chef Benny Ben Israel, a master chef from Israel, through our friend Benny Levin and Let Travel that we've been working with for our Israel tours, for a demo there. So we'll be, I think, traveling to the outdoor markets, Shuk Carmel in Tel Aviv, Machane Yehuda in Jerusalem, as well as a studio that they've rented that is a culinary studio, so that they can have some great shots for us of what they're going to be demoing and how we can make that as well at home. So if you're excited about Israeli foods from all around the world that have made their way to Israel, that should be a wonderful day as well to be a part of.
I'm getting so hungry right now. So speaking of those things, first of all, the chef from Israel, remarkable, great. But also Pesach is 3 weeks from tomorrow night is the first Seder. Second night, our congregational Seder on Sunday. And the way it's working this year, yes, on Zoom, but if you register in advance, we're going to have a little bag of goodies that you pick up with some of the supplies for the Seder, from the Haggadah to some fun things that will make it engaging for all ages, but also things that will make it reflective and inspiring for those who are individuals or older adults, whoever you are. It will really hopefully connect with every age, but it'll be a nice time to be a community together as well to celebrate Passover, since most of us are not going into someone's home and aren't vaccinated, and want to be careful about that as well. Obviously, safety is our number one priority in this as well. As far as one question, any thoughts about a weekly meditation session? Love the idea. It's something I dabble in and I engage in as well and do. I do a few different apps of meditation, but one way, so to Sue Gertner, who asked that question, you can jump on to Wise Mind, Gentle Soul, who Brandon Klein, who's led meditation with us at Temple, who has that available immediately. And he does 3 different sessions every week. And so there are opportunities there before we might get it started. So maybe it is something we'll do. Thank you. But you can, if it's something you want to engage in, I really enjoy Brandon's technique and his guidance in that. And it's been good for us at Temple. What is the treat I give to Addie during services? Quick dog story, thank you, is that my dog really loves to engage us during services. And so I had to find a way to occupy her. And it was, I forget the brand, because she changed her desires and got tired of that brand and stopped eating it after the first 8 months of the pandemic. It worked great for 8 months. No hide, natural dog chews, and they were great because they sponsored services. They sent me a whole case of them, but then Addie got tired of them. So I'm always trying to find new things, and now I just stuff cons really well with chicken jerky, and that seems to keep her going for a while. And I close the door now that I'm in this room of the house as opposed to the other room, so she can't get in here. And she's cooking dinner right now with Leslie, and looking forward to a Shabbat dinner together. Let me give a shout out to Audrey Bloomberg, one of our team, our staff at Temple, who is behind the scenes most Friday nights with us. And when she first said, sure, I can do Friday nights in the beginning of the pandemic, she thought, yeah, it'd be a month of this. So thanks, Audrey, from all of us for doing this for the entire year, continuing this. And for the individual who texted me and asked about in-person services, look, we hope to be doing that. The weather's going to be changing. The sun is shining more. We would love the opportunity to, I think, in a few months, to be outside together to find a way to make that possible. So we see that light at the end of the tunnel, that possibility, but we want to make sure, like we said before, that everything's done really safe and that we're taking care of everyone as well. So, Rabbi, did I miss anything of our things to share?
No, that's a lot of great things going on.
There is. We really blessed to have a lot of people involved in the things that are happening at Temple, and for all of you to be engaged and accessing the things that we're doing together. We wanted to end with a special song for us at Temple that was brought to us by Dan Nichols, which traditionally the words chazak, v'nit chazek means may you be strong, may we strengthen one another. Traditionally, it's said when we finish reading a book of the Torah, but it's expression that gives us strength. And as I said in the beginning, you all have given us 3 strength. And hopefully it's been reciprocal, that we've all done that for each other as a part of a community. It's what brings us together. It's what makes Shabbos a special time that reminds us to pause and reflect on, even in the midst of the challenges, the blessings that are here, the goodness that we have around us, the community that surrounds us, and the love that we feel together. So with that in mind, let us sing Chazak with Cantor now.
We have come from near and far to raise our voice in song, and the more we join in the refrain, the more we feel strong. חזק, חזק, ונתחזק, חזק, חזק, ונתחזק. As we sing, we link ourselves to those who came before. As we sing, we link ourselves to those who came before, and we're one with all those yet to come. Our strength, it will endure. And we're one with all those yet to come. Our strength, it will endure. Be strong and let us strengthen one another. Be strong and let us celebrate our lives. Be strong and let us strengthen one another. Chazak, chazak, be strong. Be strong, be strong. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק.
Before we conclude with our final benediction, with our final prayer, as we think about our resiliency during this past year, we also take a moment to think about the challenges that we've experienced as we've done throughout this service. And that one of the great things about our congregation is we've always been one that has responded to need. And for the last over half a year, I think we've been storing food for a Hazon that's been distributed to local food pantries to help those who are facing hunger issues at this time. And so a special event that we're going to be happening on March 21st on a Sunday afternoon, where Temple is going to be the site of a food collection for our community, beyond the Jewish community and beyond, as we do things. And we're partnering with two organizations, with Repair the World, who's sponsoring this, and Hazon, who's going to be taking care of distributing the food, as well as the Michigan Board of Rabbis. And anybody that drops off food at that food drive on that Sunday in our parking lot from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, well, I should say the first 300 cars that do that will get a box of matzah as a way of saying thank you and wishing everyone a happy Passover as well. But a nice way to be able to help in this time for those who need it. And anybody can be a part of that. You don't have to be Jewish, don't have to want that box of matzah. You could even turn it down if you wanted. But if you want that and want to help out and do something for our Metro Detroit community, it's a great way to be able to give back and help during these times as well. So again, that's Sunday, March 21st, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Actually, from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the Temple parking lot. And we'll have information posted about that soon on our website.
Really a blessing that we've been able to partner with many organizations. I think it's 40,000 pounds of food have come through Temple. Not that I've eaten, but that have come through. So someone accused me of that. But thanks to Hazon and that partnership, and really to help distribute that. And there's a real need out there. So thanks for being a part of it and helping us with that as well. So as we conclude our services, as we end with our final blessing, the blessing that we say, that parents say for children, that we say for one another as a community, think about the blessing that you have found in this year in the midst of, no doubt, incredible pain and challenges too. But our time together on Shabbat has definitely been one of those blessings for the three of us, and the connection that we feel. So we ask you to reflect on what's been that blessing for you, and let us know. Let us know so we can share those and feel that together. So may God bless us all with these words as we conclude our service. May God bless you. May God protect you.
May God shine upon you, and may God shine through you.
May God always be a part of who we are, connecting us to one another, giving us the perspective to feel the blessings that are here, the perspective to understand that which we need to do in our world to bring God into our world. Most of all, to help us feel and create peace, shalom, in our heart, in our mind, to help bring more peace into our world. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone.